Hello everybody and welcome back to Scout Only MvM until we get an Australium. I wanted to say thank you to everybody who watched the last video, no matter how long you watched it, and for leaving comments too. A lot of you left some really nice comments and constructive comments, and I really appreciate it. Really makes me want to make the rest of these videos. Wanted to point out one comment in particular. This guy, Dynamism, was complaining about not having gotten a drop after 41 tours. And I'm like, oh, you should play MvM for fun. You know, you shouldn't be playing it for Australiums. But then his very next tour, he gets an Australium SMG, which is a bit underwhelming as far as Australiums go, but it's a great drop, and I'm happy for him, and I hope he's happy with it. But that leads me to wonder, what was your guys' first Australium? If you're an MvM player, and if you haven't gotten one yet, what do you want to be your first? Just leave that answer in the comments, and, I'll display one of those comments next video. We're going to do the first mission here in Metro Malice in Manhattan. And it's important when you're playing Manhattan to always be rotating up top as a scout and check money. Both the missions always will throw surprise robots. Usually, scouts, demo men, giant scouts will come out from up there, and it's important to keep an eye on them. But this first wave is nothing too crazy if your team handles themselves well, which my team did. Fortunately, can't say that about later missions in this tour. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, not much going on at the moment. Just taking care of some soldiers, some mobbing soldiers. Using the soda popper to jump over those and evade all those rockets. Soda popper is really good for that. Like I said in the last video, I wanted to use a soda popper perhaps on this map more. I end up using the shortstop in Empire Escalation, but soda popper is still quite a viable option. Does a lot of damage, and the utility of it is just good. We have one more giant soldier here to take care of. The demo man was using the normal sticky bomb launcher, which isn't ideal, but it is certainly serviceable. Star had a video a long time ago, many years ago, about MvM metagames, and some people will complain about you for not using, meta items and meta strategies in MvM, and any game where there's a meta. And yeah, that really decreases the different experiences you get and whatnot. So I tend, even when I'm not doing a challenge where I don't talk to people, I tend not to get onto them for using different items. But yeah, definitely you want to be using the Scottish resistance on demo men most of the time, just for the fact that you can set up multiple traps. Here we're starting out wave 2, and I get stabbed by a spy that I knew was there. I saw him out the corner of my eye and I bumped him, but I thought I could maybe kill that spy in front of me. Just a funny little moment. We take care of all of those guys rather quickly. Jumping forward a bit, taking care of this giant scout, which I feel like is the responsibility of scouts, because they can, catch up with them quite easily, better than soldiers can. Getting owned by a steel gauntlet heavy here, never fun. Their hits hurt a lot. In fact, half of our team is dead here. But luckily the medic managed to resurrect me, and I kept track of all the money. If you're playing a scout, it is quite important to not die if you can help it at all, because it's really easy to lose money if you die in the middle of it, and then bots get killed in places you don't know, because usually when you die, the wave is falling apart. You're supposed to be the last person to die, definitely, if you do die a scout. And hopefully there's no money on the ground. Coming up, this soldier's about to double airshot me. I'm telling you guys to jump over soldiers, and sometimes that just doesn't help. Sometimes they're gonna airshot you. Same with demo men, but certainly more often than not, jumping over them and running around is better than running around them. You do want to run around them too. Well, here we are. We're about to wrap up wave 2 already. Just killing these giant pyromen. You don't want to be relaxing too much on these, seemingly trivial end of the wave parts. Some teams can struggle. Here I am mulling over What upgrade should I get? I get some slow on milk because there are 6 giant scouts, and the bonk scouts, whatever the heck you want to call them. So I want that slow on the milk to perhaps slow them down and make sure things don't get out of hand. Unfortunately, they get a little bit out of hand here as this scout is going to cap this point from us, which will make things a little bit more difficult in the wave. It's just, it gives you less leeway in case a bot ever gets behind you. And it's also very important when the gate capture happens in Manhattan that you personally as a scout go back there and kill all these robots and pick up all the money, because that's another point in the way where it's easy to lose money. You know, it's easy to keep up with money when you have a really good team killing everything for you, and all you have to do is pick up money, you know, 2 spots, maybe sometimes behind. But for the most part, you know, waves aren't going to go that smoothly unless you have at least 2 good players that are playing very important roles as far as damage and control of the map goes. This is what I was talking about too, about support bots being sometimes overwhelming for teams. This one's are a bit more stout than the scouts in last wave, but soldiers, yeah, just running out, and they do lots of damage, and they can kill people quite quickly. Almost kill me there, goodness gracious. Having to soda pop around, trying to look for this money. It's found by the bomb. Good thing. Yeah, you gotta be looking out. That's wave 3. Dunzo. Here we are. We're going with some upgrades again. Clip size, damage, clip size. We give ourselves the whole lot of it, because there are no fire rate upgrades for the soda popper, which is the benefit. It is cheaper to upgrade than the shortstop. Here we got Sir Crit's a lot. I can't remember his name. We're just going to be taking him down. He's looking at me, so I'm going to jump away, because I know if he looks at you, he's aggroed on you, or aggroed on somebody who's around you. In this case, it was the pyro. Speaking of, I got some gripes about this pyro here, but we'll get to that in a moment. About, you know, 8.5 minutes in, you'll see. Giant scout, me and the soldier taking care of them quite well. Soldier has some really good upgrades for dealing with scouts and whatnot. This guy almost making it to the cap point, but Major Crit's getting taken down by the rest of our team. And the rest of this wave, like a lot of other waves, after you get through the main difficult part, the rest of it is quite trivial. And this is that mission that I think I touched on in the last video. I didn't go over Metro Malice a whole lot in the last video, so I wanted to pay a little bit more attention to it this time. The last part of the very last part of this wave is all up top. All these support bots and these giant crit soldiers. They yeah, it's all up top, and I was trying to get my team to rotate here. But I want you guys to take a look at this in a second. Just wait. Well, as Pyro gets rezzed. Okay, pause. Why is this Pyro trying to do his flog taunt in front of a crit shooting soldier, a giant crit soldier? Like, he thinks he's not going to die doing that. People who play Pyro in MvM, I shouldn't say. I just shouldn't say. Yeah, you can't make this up. Obviously, he perishes instantly, gets resurrected by the medic. I lost some money because the team didn't rotate up there quite soon enough. I mean, I maybe could have gotten it, you know, but I also maybe couldn't have. You know, sometimes things are unavoidable. Going into wave 5 now, we got Chief Blast Soldier, similar to Sir Crits a lot. Just a giant robot that comes down and you shoot him a whole bunch, and it's pretty fun. Always like these moments in MvM. Sometimes teams have trouble with this stuff though. I think it's some of the easiest parts of MvM that it has to offer. And yeah, certainly unique to two cities. Here I am body blocking him. You can do this with any giant. You can do it with scouts and heavies and medics and all of them. And I was waiting for this moment to block him because it usually works out a little bit better. He can't just send you flying away. Here I am almost dying as well. I usually don't respect Chief Blast Soldier. He certainly does less damage than other giant soldiers. I guess the Liberty Launcher, I just always thought it was for knockback, but when you don't buy any resistances, he can be a little threatening, so you gotta be careful for that. I was lucky to live there with 1 health. Taking down some giant demo man. These guys, not a threat at all. And we're already on to wave 6 of Metro Malice. And yeah, I don't have much to spend money on, but we'll just get some recharge on the milk, get some increased ammo capacity. And we'll begin wave 6 with some Fist of Steel heavies and some giant soldiers, rapid fire soldiers. And some pyros up top as well. This wave gets a little chaotic. A lot of, not a lot, you know, it's not like there's a lot of last waves. There's only 4 of them, isn't there? I think last waves tend to be pretty easy for the most part, but, you know, this one is probably up there in difficulty, especially if your team is not as well equipped to deal with all the, you know, robots coming from different angles. That giant pyro falling. This guy dies. But it's not over. That pyro dying again to a spy. Pyros tend to die a lot. Look at this guy. I clearly hear the hit sound on him and I didn't get the mark. And he almost kills me. That would have made me very upset. Here I'm thinking of getting aggroed by this soldier, so I back out for a second, come back in to mark him and deal some sick damage on him. What was that, like 1500 damage? That stuff matters. In a later mission, I'll show you there's a guy that readies up while we're both scout, and I can show you kind of a way not to play. It's not a way not to play scout, it's just certainly a less effective way. That's the end of Metro Malice, the very first mission of this tour. And here's everybody's loot. This guy getting 8 boxes and a kit. I delete those kits every time I get them in this regular loot pool. This guy completing a tour, don't know what he got bugged out. But it's nothing crazy, is it? Just 2 completed tours with nothing to write home about. This guy got a light bulb and a kit. He got 2 specialized kill streak kits. Incredible. Here we are. We're going to be joining our next one, Hamlet Hostility in Rottenburg. This guy was this is not the one I was talking about. You know, this guy does swap off of scout, but I you know, just kind of stick to my guns. I don't leave. I don't say anything because, you know, I feel like I'm not allowed to. I've always set that rule for myself. Eventually, he swaps to heavy. For a moment there, we had 3 scouts, didn't we? Get a buff from my medic before the wave starts. This I forgot to equip the short stop. I played this mission right after Empire, or no, Metro Malice, excuse me. And I forgot to equip the short stop, so for this first wave I'm using the soda popper, but it doesn't really matter because I don't put any money into it. But if I had put money into it, then I would just probably stick with it because, you know, I'm making a little rule not to refund. The soda popper does come in a little bit of handy here though, because at least 1 person died on our team here. And I was able to avoid all that damage just by jumping over them. In this mission, we have a sniper, which is a little bit interesting to play with. Sniper is very, very, very powerful in MvM. Explosive headshot is a really good upgrade. And when sniper kills people, the money turns red, and you don't have to pick it up as scout, but it's still available for you to pick up and get overkill from it. So that tends to help out a lot when you have a sniper. It makes your money collection duties a lot easier, and you still have a big resource of money or health to play with. Here we are ending wave 1 though. Just these 2 giants left. And we didn't lose any money. Isn't that great? I also forgot to mention, the last mission, we didn't have a heavy, which is quite unusual, but it just goes to show you don't need all these classes to beat MvM. You know, when the game mode first came out, people certainly weren't doing everything ideally, right? All kinds of strategies were being employed. We have another pyro as well in this tour. Always fun to have gas thrown everywhere. There's that red money I was talking about. Heal you just the same. Sometimes the explosive headshot doesn't kill all medics, like they have to be a bit closer than maybe a sticky trap would have to be, but it's still completely, you know, very good. Completely very good, isn't it? That heavy cop really wanting to aggro on me even though we have teammates alive. Just leave me alone, bro. Mark him. Heavy gets him real quick. Our medic is dead. Isn't that funny? A lot of medics dying this mission. Here comes the crit soldiers of this wave. I try to... No, that's a different group of crit soldiers. I try to milk them later, but a pyro gasses them. There you go. There's the sniper. Taking care of business with all those medics, making it a very easy job taking out that scout. What will be our upgrades? We'll just give one in each of the cores. Some fire rate, some damage, and some clip size. Start a wave 3 now. Starting with some mobbing. That medic walking over a roller and getting himself killed. And he drops a bruh in the chat. Quite amusing. Gotta really watch out for that stuff. He's a giant scout. Ooh, destroy him. The shortstop just destroys. Gotta be careful for those spies when you're focusing on giants like this. Take care of that giant scout. The tank's on its way out. I'm going to be dealing with these NGs up front and these snipers. Not that the sniper really needs help dealing with other snipers. They have to charge up their body shots, but... Mark this guy. But he's dead anyway. Mark this guy. Shoot him to bits. Get the final blow on him. Always feels good to do that, especially as a class like Scout that you don't think would do a lot of damage, or at least people typically don't think does a lot of damage. But he does a lot. A lot. I really gotta stress that. There goes the tank blowing up. And they leave $5 behind for me to pick up. How irresponsible is that? Of course a pyro, you know? Who else? Me getting the last movement speed upgrade. Forgot to get that, didn't I? And for some reason I'm considering spending money on firing speed when I have 800 perfect for one of each of the best upgrades, damage and clip size. But luckily I come to my senses before I waste my money and spend it inefficiently. Wave 4 starting out with just some super scouts to kill. And since there's nothing really going on, people don't have a lot of trouble killing them. Except this guy for some reason. He got quite far for the whole team being involved. Just killing all of these guys. This wave, pretty short wave to be honest. There's just a bunch of heavies, boxing heavies, and then there's the scouts. And that's the end of wave 4. Wave 5 coming up soon. Not losing any money, isn't that great? Here we are getting some fire rate and some damage, and we'll say that's good. At this point in the wave, it doesn't matter if I personally don't get any more money, but some people's their upgrades are more expensive, especially if they're getting resistances, so they still depend on you for getting as much money as you can. But wave 5 over in a flash. Not much drama going on, just a lot of mobbing, just killing some giants. And here we are on to wave 6, where we have everybody's favorite Sir Nukes-a-Lot. And I did probably 10,000 damage to Sir Nukes-a-Lot this time. Not as much as I probably could have, you know, ran out of some ammo at some points. But you know, better than the first video where I just died to him, and then he got taken care of basically before I could get back. These medium demo men, I'll call them. They're not even giants because they have so little help. Killing that guy, he's quite the straggler. He could have walked the whole way. Sometimes bots will walk the whole way and people won't notice. And here I die because I just stand still and I'm just, you know, in awe of the samurai demo. I love those guys. They're my favorite enemy. every time I see them, they will be in the video. They're gonna be in the video at least once every video, unless I'm playing Gear Grinder or something, which I might do next video. I just wanted to play Two Cities again because I didn't give each mission a fair amount of time. You know, I was really wanting to just show everything of the first mission. A lot of the second mission I had to really gloss over the third and fourth. But here I am, doing a lot of damage. Worried that guy's a spy. Doing a lot of damage to Sir Nukes-a-Lot. But I'm running out of ammo, so I don't get to do as much as I would like to. Body blocking coming into play, though. You can see that it's very good, but I gotta stop body blocking so I can get my licks in, you know, get that damage stat up, make myself feel good. And just like that, we're on to the 7th wave of Hamlet Hostility with 3 tanks to destroy. And you know how this is gonna go. We're just gonna blow up all the tanks. Except this one's gonna go a little bit more uniquely. I'm dying here before we blow up the second tank. I'm thinking no big deal. And then I see this bot. And I'm like, whoa, he could potentially walk all the way before we kill the tanks. And I see other bots coming towards the bomb that get through because nobody really pays attention to these bots. I don't blame them. I don't pay attention to them either, but I just respawn, so I have to now. And here I am dealing with them, almost killing myself, 1 health surviving, killing all these guys as they pick up the bomb. Blech. Oh my goodness, that roller almost getting me. They could direct me at any moment. It was very stressful. And it was probably pointless too, because they would have blown up the tank. But here's all the loot. This guy completing a tour getting nothing! Isn't that great? Nothing from this guy too. What does this guy get? 8 boxes. He's angry about it. He wanted 10 boxes, and he didn't want a specialized kill streak kit. 3 people completing the tour this time, but not even a pro kill streak among them. And that's that. And here's me putting in my parts into my specialized kill streak kit that I got from the first video. I will be releasing a separate video. I wanted to include it in this video, but I was going to release a second video on how to get more money out of your tickets, and that's involved in it, you know, just crafting your kill streak kits. These guys trying to get me stuck onto the wooden thing. You can't high five or partner taunt, any partner taunt there. You'll get stuck there and you can't move and you gotta kill yourself. But if you get res, don't worry. It doesn't, they can't keep you stuck there. This is Bavarian Botbash, by the way. And it's, yeah, you start out with a lot of money, but the first wave can be a little difficult. Got some giant medics and a bunch of giants right off the bat. And that medic, oh, he doesn't get popped yet. I thought he got popped. Just our team dying. This mission was awful in every way. Yeah, he does get popped. I was correct. This mission turns out, you know, going very poorly. That heavy, ends up doing a pitiful amount of damage. We'll show the scoreboard later on, but he does way too little damage for a heavy. You know, heavy's a really, really easy class, and he just makes the whole mission harder on the rest of us, because myself included, our team didn't adjust our playstyles accordingly to, you know, the lack of pressure. You know, we basically had a disconnected player getting some money before it gets left behind. I'll just figure my team can deal with the giants and I'll get all this money, because otherwise it's just going to get thrown by the wayside. You know, whoever kills stragglers like this tend not to pick up the money, and it makes your job as a scout a lot harder. But here I'll kill the last bot of the wave and christen wave 2 with an A+. And we'll get a damage, a clip size, and a firing speed. No, we'll just go for 2 clip size. That seems fine. But yeah, that heavy, really disappointing. And this mission just goes sideways really quickly by wave 4. You will see. The rest of our team was nothing really special. We didn't have any super experienced players by the looks of it. Our medic had 30 some odd tours, but a medic can't really do that much. Even if he might not have been able to do much if he was playing another class. And certainly I could not do enough. But like I said, I could have adjusted my playstyle, played more passive, because I end up dying, I think, 18 times this whole mission. And that's a problem. It's a problem because you lose your money. See, he's not even paying attention to those soldiers that drop. He's just shooting the tank. You do like 80% less damage to the tank as a heavy. So the giant soldiers drop down, get sniped because we're just not putting up any pressure at all on these bots. They just keep getting to walk forward. And of course the battalion soldier, gets to live there. We can't do any crits to them. So they just have a lot of health. And they do mini crit damage. If you're on this wave of Botbash, you should always kill the battalion soldier first so you can use mini crits and crits. Getting a buff from that guy before the wave starts. Taking care of business with these scouts. I got the buff banner, so I didn't really need to mark them. It's important to pay attention to that stuff too, because you'll increase your DPS a lot if you notice that your soldier has buff banner up and you are in the range of it. Avoiding those spies narrowly too, but dying anyway to the giant heavy. You will hear spies chuckle before they stab you, like whether they're disguised or not. You'll hear them chuckle. And there are a lot of spies around, and there's $20 that I just do not know where it went. I still don't know. I was looking everywhere as I'm editing this footage, like, where is this money? It's not up there. It's not over here. I don't know who killed what where. It's 2 spies worth of money, and it's just gone. It's not disappeared yet, but I figured at this point, like, I can't find it. We'll survive with $20 missed. I guess this is really where the wave started going sideways, but it gets even worse on wave 4, trust me. Try to go for a body block there at the corner, but he just aggroes on me and he's gonna insta-kill me. I'm gonna get insta-killed anyway. Our team thankfully blows up the giant heavy and we managed to stabilize things without a failed wave. Failed waves almost every time result in the mission dying, and that would have been a lot of time wasted. And even if they don't result in the the mission dying, as in the lobby leaving. Oh wait, hold on, before I get on to this. This is a stuck spot I had no idea about. I've never seen this before. And now I'm stuck up here. If you partner up here, you're stuck. You're dead. And that sucks too, because I had a lot of overheal and that would have been useful. But that's a great way to start off this wave here. Like, this wave goes horribly. And you'll see. Coming back from respawn, we got a couple giant demo men, and we're just nobody shooting at them. Our soldier dies, our NG dies. Just nobody was performing very well this whole mission. I'm trying to get some milk so I can get some healing done, but the snipers get me. That's why it's a good idea as a scout to take care of snipers. This guy, the demo man behind that other demo man aggroes me and I die. The first demo man wasn't even looking at me when he killed me. This guy just, his reload gets timed. He had 89 health left. I jump down right out of spawn and I get charged by another demo man. But we somehow make it through this wave by the skin of our teeth, losing $70. That is insane. But my upgrades are cheap. This guy asking if I like the shortstop, and here's me trying to indicate to him that yes indeed I like the shortstop. And he gives me an epic in chat. I think he's epic too. I like that cosmetic loadout he's got. Start of wave 5 now. We got some Huolong heater heavies. Kill the giant quick fix medic, kill that heavy. Another one dropping. Oh yeah, this wave is quite short. I notice up top there isn't a whole lot going on. There's some crit soldiers dropping in the middle of the wave and nobody else hid from them. I try to give some milk so my team can get some help, and the pyro gasses them all and insta-kills them, so it doesn't even matter. To the pyro's credit though, I'm hating on pyros a lot right now, but he did pick up that money after the wave. Not that I couldn't have, but at least he recognizes. Wanted to point out the scoreboard here. That heavy has 35,000 damage, and I have 36,000. And everybody else doing, yeah, okay, meh. Just This whole lobby was just awful. But that heavy really making things hard on the rest of us, because If you do have a heavy, you count on him a lot for at least applying pressure, getting rid of all these this riffraff. You can hear the medics yell sniper there, so I go up here. This is where snipers come from. And I wait, and sure enough, snipers come out. So if you're playing scout or playing any class with any amount of mobility, listen out for those sniper callouts that you know, the other classes make. And you know, you get yourself some smooth looking kills. It looks like you know what you're doing. About a quarter through wave 6 here. We got some giant medics attached to a soldier coming out. And this wave is going a lot better, but it does have its issues towards the end here. No, not really. Must be wave 7. Just 2 more medics and 1 more heavy to deal with now. And they drop down and we just get rid of them. Lickety split. No issues here. Mark them, shoot them. Oh, almost get focused, almost get killed. Turns out okay though. We beat wave 6. Not so bad. And like I said, I didn't have anything I needed the money for that I lost. Lost another 6 that wave too somehow. Those guys trying to trick me again, but not gonna fall for it. We end up killing the tank before it reaches the barricade, which is nice. I mean, not really nice. It doesn't really matter, does it? This wave is another, pretty difficult last wave. All the Uber medics just make it a little tricky. Try to milk that guy, but fail. Then I get face stabbed by a spy. This had me shooting through the corner of the medic shield and insta-killing me. Yeah, this is another pretty bad wave, but it's the last wave, so I care a lot less about dying. You know, I can afford to be really, really aggressive and perhaps less evasive in the interest of doing damage. Because the money's just health to me at this point, which is good. You know, I don't have to play quite so scared as I am right now if I had, you know, say a buff of 600 health. But even with 600 health, you shouldn't be careless, because you'll see in the next mission, I believe. I mean, there's only one more mission, isn't there? In the next mission, yeah, I get 600 health deleted. I don't die, thankfully, but we'll see that upcoming in a moment. Him shooting me through the little gap. It was just, this mission was unfortunate all around. And everybody's loot, you know, just a-okay. This guy playing with that other guy with the pink-haired thing. I don't know what that is. And at the end, the heavy that was causing so many problems for everybody, his very first mission of his very first tour, he gets 9 boxes. You love to see it. This is the one I was talking about at the very beginning of the video. This guy, we both ready up on Scout, because I'm okay with playing with Scout. Scouts do plenty of damage. He upgrades the swing speed on his Fan of War, though. You know, if you go back and listen, he hits me faster than I hit him, and that is not a good way. I wish you could see people upgrade still. I know it was a tool to be toxic with a lot of times, but it was handy to see, you know, what people were upgrading, and it would have been good for this video series too, wouldn't it? But yeah, he upgrades his swing speed, and he doesn't do a whole lot of damage as a scout. There's nobody pop these medics here, so I just go ahead and shoot the pyro. Hope for the best. But yeah, his damage was lacking, to say the least. He's running around marking regular enemies. Just not doing a whole lot. Scout does, like I've said a million times, I'm going to be saying it a million times more every time I have to play Scout. He does damage, guys. And there you saw a Scout sneaking by that I didn't notice until the very end. I was measuring my schlong size by looking at the damage. I had like 1500 damage more than him. But that fail obviously kills the wave, like I said, it is wont to do. And we have to requeue after almost beating the first wave, but here we are on the final mission, for real this time, with another pyro. You love to see it. Everybody loves pyros, playing with pyros every single mission, every single time. It seems that pyros have perhaps replace the meta demo man. And that sentry buster getting killed because it's come around the corner and I'm focused on the money, and that sentry's in a really bad spot anyway. Like, this NG left a lot to be desired as far as his activity. His dispenser placement, not ideal. Sentry placement, not ideal. He just did it because busters can't get to it there. They can still blow it up. Like, they will kill your sentry there. They just will not start detonating until they're out of help. So it is not even a good spot to put them. We have a sniper join us. Not join us. I mean, this guy selected sniper. He joined late into the wave. I'm trying to get him to deal with those huntsmen. Try to pop him again like I did in the last video, but he turns around and I just know he's going to insta-kill me if I'm not careful. This guy flying out of nowhere. I guess the pyro air blasted him, but that was quite something. Collaborating with the heavy to take down that guy. And now we have some black box soldiers and more huntsman snipers coming out. I'm surprised we didn't lose the point after not killing the huntsman. You know, it happens almost every time, but I guess, you know, you don't really even need Demo Man to do that, or, you know, need to kill them. I think it would still make the wave easier. Because it did get a little hairy there in the full footage and the full gameplay. Q along heater heavy. Sniper doing his thing, missing one medic. He didn't miss him, it's just the explosive headshot missed him. And then people started shooting at the heavy or the medic, thus prompting the medics to pop. The one medic left. This guy gassing them. That's a surefire way to kill them all, I guess. But even then, the gas is not even that good, because if two of them come back to back like that and you used your gas on the first one, then you have no gas for the second one. So the gas isn't even that good of a weapon per, you know, people consider it overpowered, and it is overpowered. This is interrupting myself here. That NG didn't put a sentry at the right spot at the right time. He just forgot all about it, so I'm having to go over here deal with the engineers, and I do so quite well. Happy with being able to kill them like that. Power the shortstop, that's for sure. More shotgun heavies. These guys are very, very scary to me. Like, even if you have bullet resistance, they will obliterate you. My favorite. Samurai demos. I just love watching them run around and charge and jump up. They're the greatest. They're the greatest. I want them to be my mascot, my football team, local football, high school football, college football team mascot. That's what I want. So we are nearing the end of wave 3 here, with only this shotgun heavy and a few blast soldiers to take care of. And at the end, you know, when there's not many support bots, there are some up top here, isn't there? But, you know, nothing crazy. It's just, you know, it's going to be pretty easy to take care of them. Doing a lot of damage. This is what I was talking about at the very beginning of the video too. You know, you've got support bots from up top, and you have the blast soldier down low, and you want to be, you know, kind of split the difference as best you can between dealing damage and picking up money. The money doesn't respawn right away, so important to know. Team helping me pick up the money there. Thank you guys, you're the best. Every class can pick up money, and our upgrades are looking really good. So here we are, starting off wave 4. Proud of my damage here. I'm almost out damaging that soldier with 30 some odd tours. By the end of the mission, I do end up out damaging him. So this mission was really successful for me, which I'm pleased about. Especially after having just played the Botbash mission, where, you know, that sucked. Sucked a lot. These two missions were right after one another, just like the first two were, but there is a gap between the first two and the last two, if that makes any sense. Playing them on different days. Taking out this giant medic, the soldier completely ignoring me, which is good. That's exactly what you want. This is how you play Damage Scout. You can find a way to get behind the boss any way you can, jumping over stuff, ducking behind cover, staying there for a moment. Oh, look at these samurai demos. Hold on. Just look at them. They're gone. Unfortunate. I wanted to watch them kill somebody. Notice that giant scout coming from up top, so I figure I'll go deal with him right now. The Heavy's already up here, and the soldier. Heavy should not be up here, by the way. That is not a good spot for Heavy to be. You're going to be losing a lot of damage on the bots down at the bottom here, and there isn't enough action up top for you to justify you staying up there. Really fine for just the engineer and the soldier to stay up there. But like I say, I am no slave to metas. So if the Heavy wants to stay up there and we are not losing, I'm not going to say anything. But I can't say anything on this account now, can I? I just have to deal with whatever's come my way. A lot of people already play MvM this way too. Like this isn't a challenge to me really necessarily. But a lot of people already play without resistances and without canteens. I played without canteens personally, but I do usually buy resistances. But you know what? I might stop doing that, and I might just go with health on kill and evasiveness, and really do my fellow MvMites proud. This guy doing a funny little bug that I think is intentional with his unusual lawnmower taunt or what have you. Well, we'll begin wave 5 with some giant scouts. Pyro air blasting them back. A lot of people get upset about Pyros constantly air blasting. Mostly Demo Man will get upset at you. And that is quite reasonable for a Demo Man, because even if you're not playing the, super duper carry crit Demo Man style of gameplay, then it's gonna mess up your traps if Pyros are just air blasting bots and having them walk a different path than they otherwise might, because you just have to knock them around. But if there is no Demo Man, it doesn't really mess anybody up. Maybe messes up some people's aim a little bit, but shouldn't be too troublesome. On the last wave, this Pyro does some clever air blasting that I'm sure I've seen before, but it's been a long time since I've seen him even try to be clever. Well, last wave, we'll show you that when we get to that. For now, let's focus on wave 5. We got a bunch of black bot soldiers to just take care of. They just don't stop coming, these guys, at this point in the wave. But, everybody's at a point now because we've done so well with the money that they have enough upgrades to dispatch of these bots easily. I haven't touched on that yet, really, have I? Big reason you want to pick up all the money is, of course, for upgrades, because later on in the mission, it gets substantially easier the more money you've picked up and the more upgrades everybody's able to purchase. As some people will be wasting their upgrade money, like you saw that scout and the failed mission, like the gas just doing its thing, removing a really fun part of the wave, all those crit heavies. Let me just toss some gas and blow them all up. But yeah, some people will certainly waste the upgrade money and buy very silly upgrades, but at least they have the option to have upgrades that'll help you. And maybe they prioritize these silly upgrades, and then they run out of the silly upgrades, and because you picked up enough money, they'll get good upgrades. So it is always helpful to be picking up money for perhaps obvious reasons, but in case it was not obvious to you, that's why you want to be on top of the money. The 100 bonus, means a lot early in the wave. Early in the mission, rather. But we're all maxed out here, so we're gonna get the forbidden upgrade that I just, I ragged on this guy for getting it, and here I'm getting it. Aren't I just a big old hypocrite? Me trying to get this medic to give me the crits, because I don't think he's noticed. I've been doing a lot of damage. I'm out damaging that soldier by this point. But he doesn't want to give me the crits. It's okay. I'm not going to hold it against him. He wants to give them to the Pyro again and again and again and again. Whatever. That's his thing. I die to the giant heal on kill heavy here. That is a terrible, terrible scenario. Don't ever die to this guy. I made a huge mistake by dying to him. But luckily I only died to him once. Sometimes when people die to him, then they don't stop dying to him, and he heals a lot when he kills a player. But we lose the point here, so I'm just going to kill these guys and pick up some health. Try not to die to the heal and kill heavy again. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Oh my goodness, you're playing with fire there. You shouldn't be doing that. But I did recognize, you know, that I shouldn't be doing that, so I played it safe. Give me the crits, dude! Well, here I am body blocking him, giving him a bit of the business, as they say. And here's what I was talking about with the soldiers, the pyro air blasting the direct hit soldiers into the grinder there. A pretty little interesting tactic. I liked it. I dig it. But the last bit of this wave is really easy. Just killing these giant heal and kill heavies. Got some generic support bots. Nothing crazy. Taking care of some engineers. Really, this is just a waiting game for me at this point. It's a waiting game for everybody. These guys take a while to come out, and they are super easy to kill. Standing in the buff banner aura. And, yeah, drop the GG in chat. And we have the last mission complete. What am I going to get for my drop? I forgot to shuffle these around, so mine gets spoiled a little bit, but it's nothing. Unfortunate. It's a specialized kill streak. Gloves are running urgently kit is what I got. So, yeah, I'm going to end up deleting that and just sticking with the one kit that I have right now. This guy gets 3 boxes. What does he get? Ooh, only I know. You don't know yet. It is nothing. You'll know it's an Australium when it's doing the bop, 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 bop thing. Here we are. We're going to finish up the who's a what's it right now. Not finish it up. We're just going to put all the parts that we can in it. And you'll see, after just 2 missions, we almost have it complete. But yeah, that's it. So, thank you everybody for watching, if you watched. Hope to see you next time. Hope you enjoyed. Answer that question. See you guys.